Anthony Frederick Levin was born on the 6th of June 1946 in Boston, Massachusetts, and grew up in the suburb of Brookline. He began playing double bass at 10 years old, primarily studying classical music. In high school he learned tuba, soloing with the concert band, and also started a barbershop quartet. After high school he attended the Eastman School of Music in Rochester, New York, and played in the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra. Also at Eastman he studied with drummer Steve Gadd. He traded in his Ampeg electric upright baby bass for a Fender Precision Bass. In the early days his first bass amplifier was an Ampeg Portaflex B15. Levin's first recording was in 1968 when he and Gadd played on Diana in the Autumn Wind Gap Mangione's first solo album. In 1970 Levin moved to New York City, joining a band called Aha, The Attack of the Green Slime Beast, with Don Preston of the Mothers of Invention. Soon after he began working as a session musician, and through the 1970s he played bass on many albums including Buddy Rich's big band jazz album The Roar of '74, and Paul Simon's Still Crazy After All These Years. From 1973 to 1975 Levin and Steve Gadd played in the band of veteran jazz flautist Herbie Mann. Two of Levin's early compositions were featured on the 1973 Mann album First Light. In 1976 Levin helped create the lush textures on Andy Pratt's Resolution album that featured numerous notable musicians including Arif Mardin, Andy Newmark, Hugh McDonald, Luther Vandross and Levin's frequent rhythm section partner Steve Gadd. In 1977 Levin joined Peter Gabriel's band. He had met Gabriel through producer Bob Ezrin, with whom Levin had recorded Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare and Lou Reed's Berlin. Levin has been Gabriel's bass player of choice ever since. On Peter's first solo album Levin played tuba as well, and directed and sang with a barbershop quartet on Excuse Me. With the exception of John Giblin's fretless bass playing on Peter Gabriel 3, and some additional work by Larry Klein on In Your Eyes and Mercy Street, and Bill Laswell on This Is the Picture, Levin has been the bassist on all of Gabriel's studio sessions and on his many tours around the world. In his years with Gabriel, Levin developed two unique aspects of his playing: further advancement on the Chapman stick, which he would later utilize heavily in King Crimson, and invented funk fingers. First used on the song Big Time from Gabriel's 1986 So album, funk fingers are chopped-off drumsticks used to hammer on the bass strings. Levin credits Gabriel with the concept and his tech at the time with actually making them workable. In 1988 Bruford asked Levin to be an unofficial fifth member in the Yes-related supergroup Anderson Bruford Wakeman Howe, which consisted of all the members from the classic Yes lineup except bassist Chris Squire, but he only functioned as a session player on ABWH eponymous album. Due to a severe virus, he was unable to play on some of the final dates of the accompanying tour, being replaced by Jeff Berlin. Levin also plays on the Yes album Union from 1991. In 1998, Levin and Bruford formed Bruford-Levin Upper Extremities with trumpeter Chris Bodie and guitarist David Torn. They released one studio album in 1998 and a live double album in 2000. Torn, Levin, and Bruford had worked with trumpeter Mark Isham for Torn's album Cloud About Mercury. Former Japan bassist Mick Karn replaced Levin for Isham's tour at the time. Levin also continued recording albums with his own band, consisting of drummer, saxophonist, vocalist Jerry Marotta, guitarist Jesse Gress, synthesizer programmer Larry Fast, and Levin's brother keyboardist Pete Levin. He also regularly played with the California Guitar Trio when their schedules permitted. In 1997, Levin teamed up with Mike Portnoy and John Petrucci, members of Dream Theater, as well as future Dream Theater keyboardist Jordan Rudess, for a project called Liquid Tension Experiment. The combo released two albums, Liquid Tension Experiment and Liquid Tension Experiment 2, in 1998 and 1999 respectively, as well as playing short tours in 1998 and 2008. There have also been two CDs of material released under the name Liquid Trio Experiment. The first composed of studio jams from the LTE2 sessions without Petrucci, released for the band's 10th anniversary, and a live recording from a 2008 Chicago show where Rudess's equipment failed, and the other three covered for it with a nearly hour-long improvisation. In short, Levin's brother named Pete Levin is a New York keyboardist and writer who is known for his work with Gil Evans. In the 1970s, Tony and Pete collaborated with Steve Gadd and the comedy band The Clams. Levin has stated that some of the Clams material may eventually be released, Levin also played on Jean-Pierre Ferland's John album, which included hits Le Petit Roy and Le Chat du Café des Artistes. On September 2013, Levin was officially announced as a member of the 8th incarnation of King Crimson, alongside band founder Robert Fripp, guitarist Jacko Jakcik, the returning Mel Collins on saxophone, and drummers Pat Mastelotto, Gavin Harrison, and new member Bill Rieflin. The group toured the United States in the autumn of 2014 and has continued to tour throughout the world since, including 2019 when King Crimson celebrated its 50th anniversary.